Before I show you several clips that I want you to see, I want to make a disclaimer. I don't like to get involved things with race and things. I don't want to like pull a race card, people to say that I'm doing that or make things about race and things like that. But sometimes we need to highlight things. And I'm going to highlight, well, as you see in the thumbnail, white evangelicals, because I have some questions to ask some of you guys, and I want to get your thoughts. So let's look at this clip and come back and talk.
Who won't ever leave nor forsake them. So God made Trump.
He claims to be a holy warrior against an imaginary attack on Christianity.
They want to tear down crosses, but no one will be touching the cross of Christ under the Trump administration. I swear to you.
He's even selling his own version of the Bible.
We must make America pray again.
Trump is playing to a rising white Christian nationalist movement within the Republican Party.
I say it proudly, we should be Christian nationalists.
Christian nationalists believe that the law of the land is not the Constitution, but instead the law of God, as they interpret it. Trump's supporters are increasingly overt in their calls to replace democracy with a MAGA theocracy.
The church is supposed to direct the government. And I'm tired of this separation of church and state junk.
We're meant to be a Christian nation. We should be a Christian nation.
Welcome to the end of democracy. We're here to overthrow it completely. We didn't get all the way there on January 6th, but we will endeavor to get rid of it and replace it with this right here.
That was a cross he was holding. The idea that the will of voters is irrelevant because God has anointed Trump was a recurring message in the efforts to overturn the 2020 election.
Because it is not Joe Biden that rules this country. Jesus Christ is the king of everything in this world. Christ is king! Christ is king! Christ is king!
And as you can see in that first clip I showed you, there's Robert Wright where he's talking about, this so-called attack on Christianity, the MAGA movement as we've talked about, but the evangelicals, the white evangelicals. You see, the question I have, and I heard it about a week or two ago about someone talking about, within the black church realm, I think a lot of people in society have this misconceptions that blacks are non-religious. And that is that's a lie. Faith is a strong foundation within the black community. As many of you that are my subscribers, some of you know. It's what got us through very tough times over the decades. So there's this misconception that black folks are just lawless and godless and don't care about have any type of faith. So this misconception that black people and things that we're just non-religious, we're godless, we're heathens. And I've seen some of the nastiest comments out there where just think what America would be like if they weren't here. Think of all of this if these particular groups of people and all of this. And this is really what it boils down to. They don't want people of color or any types of differences here. These evangelicals, a lot of them, when they want to go back, they want to go back into the days, back when it was where you were, not to be seen or heard. I used to work with, I worked with someone, a good friend. We're still great friends. He's retired now. And he told me, even here in our state, when he was a kid, and he would have downtown, and when they were young, and if you saw a white person coming down the street, you had to cross the street, or you had to walk with your head down as you approached the white person. And when they traveled, they had to travel with buckets in the trunk of their car because you couldn't stop. Possibly after dawn because, you can run into possibly being lynched or, run into trouble. And all of this craziness that goes on. And these evangelicals, as I show you some more clips of where their mindset is and why I call them the Taliban, the American version of the Taliban. Take a look.
Men must be born again of the Father. They must return to the Father, because until they return to the Father, the woman will rule. And as you know, every time you listen to the woman, you're going to suffer. A man has no business to listen to a woman unless he listen to her about evil, because women of their nature being evil until they are born again of the Father, they can pick up evil all the time. So the man can hear, oh, you better watch out for that woman, or you better watch out for this. But other than that, a man should never take advice from a woman. He will always suffer.
And this is very similar to what we saw with the whole horseback border patrol agents. Horseback border agents to be punished for migrant confrontation. You know, they tried to say, well, they were whipping Haitian migrants, but it was just the reins of the horse. But here's the thing. You know, we need them. We need them to start, like, literally whipping migrants coming across the border. Maybe that will get them to stop. Maybe that will get them to think twice before invading our country, which most Americans agree is an invasion at the southern border. You know, we need to praise agents like this. Okay, we need to hang these things up. That should be commended.
If we just have a robust security state, if we just have a robust security policy, if we eliminate the corruption, if we convert these people to Catholicism, we can make this work. This can be a great thing, really. I think that you do that through cops and priests. That's how you do it. Because not all of them are going to be able to hack it, and those people got to go to jail. And the people that are maybe on the borderline, the people in the middle, well, they need to be religiously inculcated and brought into the church. But that's what you got to do. You got to build the prison, you got to build the cemetery, you got to build the church. That's how you build a society. That's the foundation.
And as you see how they think about women, how they think about a lot of things, you can see where their mindset is. And this is not. When you get your Bible and read the scriptures and what we know about what Jesus Christ taught us, this is the total opposite. That's why these people are the American version of the Taliban. And it's why we have to highlight it's white evangelicals that are pushing this crap. You know, all of a sudden, if you go back and do the thing, and I always have to bring up Jerry Falwell and have to bring up some of these people, but the Southern Baptists and all of them, they were pro-life. Some people don't, a lot of people don't know this. They were pro-choice. I'm sorry. They were pro-choice until the 70s, until they realized, we got to beat this Jimmy Carter. Because Jimmy Carter was a heck of a politician when he came on the scene. We've got to beat this man. We got to do something. And they got involved, and Darren and their buddies, Farwell and all of these people got involved and figured they'll come up with this strategy to pluck off evangelicals and intertwine themselves, take the end of evangelicals and be able to pluck off, from Carter to be able to, so that they can get it what they want in the White House and get their policies in place. And it took a while. That's why I said it started many years ago. But now, these same types of people that's moved forward, they've moved it to a whole nother extreme. As you look at this.
When we take power, they need to be given the death penalty. And these people that are suppressing the name Christ and suppressing Christianity, they must be absolutely annihilated when we take power.
And as you can see there, that's Nick Fuentes. Nick Fuentes, the guy that Trump said that he didn't know who he was when he came to Kanye West there to the White House, when the Secret Service didn't got to clear these people. And this guy talks about the Jewish, hate the Jews. He hates blacks. He hates all types of, he's a what you would call a modern day KKK is what he is. And these people, a lot of them, when you go to and you look at these events that being ran by these people, it's pretty much, they call themselves evangelicals. They're basically a modern version of the Taliban, mixed in with a little bit of KKK and everything else, unfortunately. I have to call it like it is. They're not godlike. These folks are filled with hate. Anybody that hates people of their religion and their race and all of these other types of things and want to inject and have it and force you into their way of everything, that's not how America operates. And it's a shame, because I was thinking when I was driving, and I got to go get my daughter here in a bit, well, I was thinking how, if I wasn't a Christian right now, if I was not a Christian right now, the way that these so-called these evangelicals that we talk about and these ones that are trying to shove religion down people's throats, I wouldn't want to probably have anything to do with the church. I think the way that I was with my mindset and just the things that was going on in my life back in that summer of 87, summer of 88 when I didn't know the Lord, and summer of 89 when I was just rampant. And I was telling my oldest son about how hateful and how crazy minded I was then. And I come across people with this type of stuff. If I was, wanting to maybe turn my life around, and this is what they're going to do, as you see here, the clip where Oklahoma is going to force Bible, said as part of history, and they're going to force that in classrooms and things like that. Now, there'd be one thing. I wouldn't have a problem with it. More so, if it was optional or things like that. But here we go. Once again, people forcing things on people, and people that may not want to study, they're going to be forced to study it, making it mandatory in a school system and things like that. But then they turn right around and they'll continue. I think they just executed somebody yesterday, so that's a whole nother subject there. And these are the same people that they don't want certain history of certain culture. They don't want the real history that has went on within an American system. They don't want that to be taught. But they want to make sure they inject their religious beliefs onto everybody. And this is coming. I'm a Christian, and I'm not, and many of you subscribers, some of you listen to me, some that they're not Christian. I know that I can't go in. That's one of the things. My degree is from Liberty University. I have a bachelor's of science in religious studies with Christian counseling emphasis and things like that. And if I want to, and I have some 3 courses off for my master's in family studies, and so from Amberton University, which is in Texas out there, but it's not like a university where they broadcast and real religious like how it would be at Liberty, over the time. But, I got a great education. I got all of that. But, I know I run up to roadblocks at times over the years because of that degree, because where it's from. Because we know that there's several people, once the Jerry Falwell Jr. got out of control there in the end, and he was one of the first ones to bring Trump on the scene, and the university laughed at him because he said 2 Corinthians, if you remember that. Things like that, people think that I'm an extremist of some sort. But, I'm not no extremist. I just want to learn God's word and be well-rounded and things like that. And there's people out here that they're, this evangelicals, that they're doing so much damage within this realm, these people, because it's more so happening, as I've said, it's more so happening in the the white church circles, the evangelicals, it's this madness of promoting the Constitution and documents and lifting up political figures like Trump and all of that in the church. That's not happening in 99.9% of black churches. We don't do that. We're not there for that. We got so many struggles that we are battling with that when we come to church, we want to hear a word from the Lord. We want to seek God's face and pray. We believe in this, this as a lot of you. And I'm not saying every white church is like that and all of that. No, these are the MAGA type churches that are bringing in Mike Flynn's and all of these other types of people. I can't even think of their daggone names. All of it, and I'm going to post some of the stuff here as you can see it here. Some of these events where you had these speakers and they're coming into events, and you've seen that Laura Boebert. She was in a church talking crazy when she goes around. These are the types of stuff. These folks are dangerous, and they have nothing but a Taliban mindset. I'm saddened as we close out, as you see some of these Taliban women. Look at this. I mean, these women, Afghanistan and the way it was before it was taken over, the way it was by this stupid old Taliban, women had freedom. Women can dress and wear skirts. They were beautiful. There's a lot of beautiful women covered up that you can't even see their face. They're there. and they were beautiful, and they got to have fun, and you can go over there as a vacation if you wanted to back in the day, and hang out. And now they're under the rule of these strict people that this religious ideology that's totally in the dark ages. They can't do it. They even got to make sure they're careful to how they walk, to where they don't make any noise walking, and can't wear white socks and all of this other stuff, because they can be beaten. And they can't come out in public unless it's with a family member or their husband, and no education and all of this, and they're highly suicidal. Why would you even, I can only imagine, why would somebody want to have the will to live in something like that? So these women that are going to, there's a lot of prayer that needs to go on around the world. And you see these types of people that we talk about, these white evangelicals, the MAGA style ones and stuff, they want to pray for there's so many places around the world that needs deliverance. And I think of people I'm thankful that, I live in a place. They want to make like America is this total, saying it's a third world country and all of this. It burns me up that they talk like that. They don't know what no third world. If they want to know what a third world country is, I want to see them all get on the plane, drop them off in the middle of Haiti, and let's see if they make it back here. How about that? Let's do a nice experiment. Get on the plane, Marjorie Taylor Greene, all of these MAGA, these Christians, church members that want to try to go back to the days of segregation and get everybody out of here that don't agree with them and all that. Let's put you on a plane. We're going to take you on a tour, a world trip. We want to see how many make it back, starting off with Haiti. Since, you want to talk about third world countries and all of that. We'll take you over there. Then maybe we'll zoom on over to Venezuela. We'll go, maybe some of you parachute you off to Somalia. Hey, let's see. And let's take a number and see how many make it back. How about a nice experiment like that? You want to test out a third world country. Yeah, America's not great. We're not perfect and things like that. But I tell you what, I'm thankful to be an American. I'm thankful to be here, and I'm thankful to be saved and that Jesus Christ loves me, and he loves everybody, regardless of how much hate you push. So you can push your lies, your stories, your misinformation, and all of these things out here. You know what? Jesus still loves everybody, and he's not going to allow you to continue on with your little charade and think you're going to get away with it. And you know what? In the meantime, we'll continue to call it out, shine the spotlight on it. Evangelism for God is a channel where we talk about issues the church went away from and punch Satan right in between the chops. Until the next video, my friends, take care. God bless.